Aries, let's start with your reading. Let's start looking into the energies around you at the moment and let's see how they are going to evolve in the near future. Okay. All right, Aries, what's going on here? I'm already seeing that each card contradicts the next one, which is definitely a sign that something is not as it seems, that someone, for some reason, might be acting in a secretive way or even deceptive way. And I do think that this someone is represented by this emperor. This could be you or someone around you. Overall, a person who truly cares about the way they appear into their own environment. Someone who maybe has a lot of responsibilities and a person who overall enjoys being in control. You know, the strongest message that we get from the emperor is in fact that they are now hiding something. They're not truly able to express their feelings, at least at this moment in time. And, you know, they are in rejecting mode. They're rejecting everyone that gets close to them, which is definitely contradicting the next energy already. With this Two of Cups, someone has instead a very powerful attraction towards you. In fact, here we see mutual feelings, which, given the fact that on the surface you are dealing with an emperor, this might actually come as a surprise to you. You might think that this person is not attracted to you at all. Maybe someone who doesn't even know your name, where you live, what you do. And in fact, we see that underneath the surface, this person does know your name. They in fact know every single detail about you, every single detail of your face even. They think about you very often. And perhaps they are struggling in this very situation, admitting this to themselves, admitting these feelings to themselves. And with the Two of Cups, obviously, we also see someone who is being cautious with their feelings. But at the same time, there is something else going on here that we cannot see yet. And we'll have to dig a little deeper in order to find out. But overall, we see that they are in control mode. And they're trying to not obsess about love, perhaps. In fact, now that I'm looking more into this, I see that this person in the past might have been one of those people who truly gives everything for love. Someone who maybe is consumed by these kind of feelings, losing control over themselves, losing control over their environment. And in fact, you know who this emperor reminds me of? This Page of Cups right here. It's almost like the true nature, the true identity of this emperor is this Page of Cups, which is appearing at the end of the reading, but we'll have to confirm that when we get there. Now, next we have the Eight of Wands, Four of Cups, and Five of Swords. And as far as you go, Aries, I do believe that overall, you're finding the situation very confusing. Because the emperor is really good and making you believe something that it's not. They put on this mask and it makes it impossible for you to see who's behind it, who the real person is, their true energy. And also, I see that the more time it passes, the more questions you have, the more answers you need. And with this Eight of Wands, in fact, we see that there are things that you want to talk about, but obviously, at this point, you're not really initiating any sort of conversation, or at least not officially, because Right now, it seems impossible for the two of you to truly have a conversation. Even for those of you who are talking to this person, you don't really feel that you're actually talking to them, if that makes sense. You're talking about the weather, you're talking about the elections, but you're not talking about how you feel and where this is going to go, what this is about. It's almost like talking to a wall often. Their body is there, but their spirit and mind, not so much. It's almost as if their body was hijacked by some different energy that really doesn't belong to them. And in fact, that's where I see that this Emperor has taken place to this Page of Cups right here. But this is the real energy. You know, also what you might not know about this Eight of Wands is actually that this person also has a lot to tell you, and maybe they have questions themselves about certain things. But again, with the Four of Cups contradicting this energy, we see someone who instead is blocking that, as if they had nothing to say. And obviously for some of you, this Four of Cups might mean that you have blocked them or got blocked by them. And so potentially the potential of having this conversation gets even more complicated. But one important thing that you see with the Four of Cups is also that someone is blocking love in order to not get hurt. That little message that I got at the end of these two cards. I see that someone in a way is already projecting a course of events, a development that maybe is not a reflection of reality at all. As if this person is thinking that once they show you their true feelings, you'll walk away. You'll take advantage of that. But again, there is something right here that I cannot see yet, which is also very important to know, and we'll have to look into it. But for now, we clearly see insecurity, fears, and at the same time, a lot of things to tell you. At the same time, a bond that seems pretty magical to me, at least up to this point. The Five of Swords, with this Five of Swords, we might be seeing that the two of you could have had an argument at some point. Something that maybe changed things, changed the dynamic, changed the conversation overall in between the two of you. And even if you haven't had this argument, trust me, in their head, you have. You know, when you play a conversation in your mind that has never happened and you play it over and over again, and suddenly you are able to be both people in the conversation. There are arguments, there are conflicts here. And the most interesting thing is how these elements, these conversations, these things are happening regardless of the fact that you can see them on the surface or not. Someone here is definitely afraid to lose control and maybe even telling you that you were right. Being in a position where they have to apologize. It's definitely hard for an emperor. And so what's next? What should you expect from a situation like this one? At this point, you might think that you are never going to hear from this person again, or that things will never go back to normal. And I am sure that you're thinking that maybe they don't care enough to go the distance, enough to reach out and start this conversation with you. But I am seeing here two people who both want to talk to each other. But you're both waiting on the other person to initiate the conversation, both because you feel that that's how it should be. Ending up in this place where you're stuck, where nothing is happening at all, but not for long. With the Page of Cups, obviously, pages bring messages. A message that potentially could be a happy surprise when you least expect it. One day, you are doing your thing and you just see this message coming in. And although it sounds great, or at least it sounds like a step forward, this is going to be a very tiny attempt, which means that this has the potential to be underwhelming. especially after all this time that you went on without talking. Now you just receive something small. Again, it's a step forward, but don't have high expectations on this message. We'll have to see what this message is going to be. But with the Hermit, you see a confirmation of something that we said earlier. It really feels like this person has shut the world out. Even if it doesn't look like it on your end, emotionally, they did. There is some sort of self-healing happening here, which perhaps is going to be fundamental for a healthy evolution of this situation. Throughout the Hermit energy, this person might have defined their own expectations. And so you might want to expect a very deep conversation, not right away, but this will lead to that. Or maybe a conversation where the two of you are going to share things that you've never shared before. An overall conversation that it's really going to make or break the evolution of this connection. And so let's look into the details of these upcoming energies. Let's see what you should expect from this person. What you should expect from this Page of Cups. How are they going to come in? And how the situation is going to evolve both in the near and distant future. What's next into your love life, Aries? Let's keep looking into it. If you want to dive deeper into the messages, Aries, just follow me in the extended reading link below in the description box. Also, don't forget that every single week, I randomly select viewers who have watched the extended video to offer them a 100% free personal 30-minute reading. I send out emails every Monday morning to confirm. Make sure to check out your spam folder as well. Now, stay tuned for the extended preview coming right up after this. Welcome back to your extended reading, Aries. Look at the bridging energy, taking us from the current situation to the future situation, the Wheel of Fortune. And obviously, right here, you see a unexpected, fundamental change into a situation that definitely needed a change. You know with this card right away that what comes next is going to be completely different from what you had up to this point. This is almost like something that it's out of control. They cannot control themselves anymore. They cannot pretend to be this emperor anymore. And by the way, right underneath this Wheel of Fortune, the 10 of Cups. So there is something very important coming your way, and I can already tell that it's going to be positive. But let's look into the details. I want to see what this Page of Cups is going to say. I want to see what this Page of Cups is going to do. And then I want to look into how this upcoming event, it's going to change the trajectory of this situation, but also of your love life. What's next for you, Aries? Let's look into it. The Hermit on the Hermit. Wow. Okay. This is very powerful. We see, in fact, right away how this person has